What's up? I thought it'd be fun to do some tier lists. I like tier lists. They give me a reason to speak narcissistically about movies. I've gathered some movie tier lists that I thought would be fun to go through, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're doing this live on Twitch if anybody shows up. If not, no big deal. This will be derivative content for YouTube. I just want to say right before we get into this, just right out of the gate, that I am working on a couple really large videos that's taking forever, especially the Avatar screen to console has been taking forever to get through. I mean, really taking a long time to get through this Avatar video, and I wish I was done with it, but I am still going. So hopefully here soon I will be done with that. And outside of that, I have 3 more large videos already in the pipeline. One of them I've already worked on quite a bit. Another one I've worked on quite a bit. And then the third one I haven't even started yet. And I have videos lined up. It's just doing the time to do them. So I hope you enjoy the short reviews while I work on the big chunky videos. But let's talk about some movies. Let's do this first one, the animated tier list. The animated movie tier list. First, out of the gate, Fox and the Hound. Fox and the Hound is my favorite Disney movie. Spoilers for potential upcoming video. Anyway, Fox and the Hound is my favorite Disney movie. It's God tier. It breaks my heart still to this day. I still cry like a little baby boy every time that pops up, and it ruins my whole day when I watch it, but I absolutely adore it. It holds up really well. The Blu-ray transfer sucks. I wish we had a better transfer for the Blu-ray. Some scenes look like lifted straight out of the VHS for the Blu-ray, but love it. Hercules. Hercules is another just fantastic movie. I'm not quite at God tier with Hercules, but I'm at great film, beautiful film. I think this movie's fantastic. I'm not going to worry about a rating 1 to 10. We're just going to go off of what they have here. Aristocrats, I haven't seen in such a long time that I don't really remember it. I do have this, I think, on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure I have it on Blu-ray. If I don't, I'm pretty sure I have it on VHS. I just haven't revisited it, so I want to. Collision Course. Now, I'm hoping the other Ice Age movies are represented here, because Collision Course is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, period. And I want to say that as a big Ice Age fan. I'm a big fan of the original Ice Age movies. Even like majority of the sequels I find to be really enjoyable. I just love this cast of characters. I grew up with Ice Age 1. It came out, I was like 6 or 7, and I've just always kept up with Ice Age because I'm a big sucker for prehistoric stuff. I like prehistoric times. I find that super interesting as a setting. But this movie is garbaggio. So nope. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I think, has its moments. It's not my favorite. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I do remember good chunks of it. It's just something that's not great for me. Shrek the Third is a nope. Shrek the Third is terrible. They had ran completely out of ideas for Shrek the Third, in my opinion. And it's out of the Shrek movies. We did a Shrek marathon. It is by far the least watchable. It's like a 3 out of 10, but to me, a meh had its moments is better than Shrek Third. Chicken Little, I think, is a movie that has its moments. It has a couple moments that truly makes me laugh and chuckle, but it also has a lot of moments that I think are kind of bad. I do have it on Blu-ray though. Panama Inverted, I've not seen, but I want to. Same with Three Musketeers. I do have Three Musketeers on VHS, I believe, but I don't own it on Blu-ray or anything, but I do want to watch that. The Incredibles, is this 1 or 2? The Incredibles 1. Boom, God tier. The Incredibles 1 is such a good movie. It's so fun. It's in my top 5 Pixar movies. Toy Story 2. Great film, beautiful film. It's not quite God tier for me. I personally like Toy Story 1 over 2. I think 2 is better than 3 and 4. But I think 2, we'll put it right there. I think it's good. I think it's really good. But I don't think it's quite God tier. Like, it's like an 8 out of 10. Big Hero 6, same thing. Great film, beautiful film. If I would order these in category, Big Hero 6 would be my favorite so far out of this list. But it's just slightly above going to God tier. And my reasoning for that is there's some kind of stupid character decisions. And I also think majority of the comic relief characters outside of Baymax fall pretty flat. B-Movie is God. I'm kidding. B-Movie is a nope. B-Movie is fun for the memes, but the memes are significantly better than the movie. The movie is so bland and boring that even though it's a movie about a bee trying to fuck a woman, like a human, it's still almost unbearable to sit through because it's so bland and boring. I thought it'd be funny because of the memes, but the memes are way more enjoyable than the movie. I will be revisiting this at some point for a screen to console because I have the B-Movie the game on PS2, but yeah, not a fan. My Life as a Zucchini. Right? Yeah, as a zucchini. This is a great, beautiful film. This will break your heart. It's really short too. I believe it's only like 60 minutes long, right? Yeah, it's 70 minutes long. It's an hour and 10 minutes. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's a claymation film that I believe is originally Spanish. But it has an amazing Switzerland, France. It's French. Okay, it's French. Never mind. Does it have the American cast, the English cast in here? Yeah, Will Forte, Nick Offerman, Elliot Page, Amy Sardis or Cedar. I don't know how to say her last name. Regardless, has a pretty stacked cast for the American version, which I haven't seen it originally in French. We watched it in the American version because you can see the names that they were advertising on the poster. So we're like, we'll just watch it in English. We like a lot of the cast there. I'm a big fan of Will Forte and Nick Offerman. And yeah, it's really good. It will hurt your soul, but it's really good. So put that in there. Not quite God tier. Prince of Egypt. I gotta look this up because with Prince of Egypt, I can never tell if it's I get them confused with Joseph and the King of Dreams, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Joseph and the King of Dreams. So this one, yeah, okay. I think this one's a truly good time. I think it's pretty good. Winnie the Pooh. Oh, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I'm gonna have to put in the don't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched a Winnie the Pooh cartoon, and honestly, I don't remember if it was this one or not. So I'm gonna put it in the let's put it in the haven't seen it, don't remember pile. Shrek 2. That's Spies in Disguise. Shrek 2. Great film, beautiful film. I don't like Shrek 2 as much as Shrek 1, but I think Shrek 2 is the second best of the Shrek movies. It's like a solid 8 out of 10. It's a lot of fun. Spies in Disguise, I'm not going to lie, I actually had a pretty good time with it. Right? I'm thinking of the right movie, right? Where he turns into a bird. Yeah, I'm going to put this one here. I remember chunks of it, but I remember it actually being a lot more enjoyable than I was expecting. Song of Sea I've not seen yet, but I do have the Irish Saloon cartoon. What is it? Cartoon Saloon's Irish Folk Trilogy. I do own that box set, so one of these days I'm going to sit down and I want to do all three of them back to back, but I'm really excited to watch Song of the Sea. Not seen any Tinkerbell. Land Before Time, Journey to Big Water, so I've not seen that one. I've really only seen the first Land Before Time. Millennium Actress hurts my soul. I haven't seen it. I want to see that one really bad. I don't own it yet. I need to buy it. Finding Dory is meh. I don't think Finding Dory's that good with like most of the sequels. Ralph Breaks the Internet, I think is dog shit. I think it's really bad. It's probably the better. Nah, Shrek the Third is probably the better of this lineup. It sucked. And I want to say this. I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph. I really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet was so bad on so many levels. And it's super shallow. It's a super shallow movie where it's basically telling you that in order to have like life worth, you need to be an internet celebrity. It tries to play it off that it's not really like that important, but I think that that part of the message gets totally missed because the majority of the film is like, you have to be a social sensation. It's really bad. And not only that is the characters consistently make stupid decisions. There's an unnecessary tiff between Ralph and I think, what's her name? Penelope? Yeah, it sucks. I hate Wreck-It Ralph. I mean, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I think it's terrible. Such a disappointment. I was super excited for it too because I was like, oh my god, there's so much they could do with the Ralph character, the whole like life video game things in the internet. Like there's so much they could do with that, and they just go the worst route possible. Promare I want to see, but I haven't yet. Encanto I think is meh. I know I'm in the minority of that. I understand. I know a lot of people love this movie. Go for it if you love it. One, it's not really my thing. I'm not big on musicals. Two, I didn't think any of the songs were very good or very catchy. I thought they were pretty generic and bland personally. And then on top of that I really don't think there was... to me, there was no character development. Every character was super two-dimensional. Their characters only served the purpose of their songs, and the overall story and plot I just found to be pretty bland and generic. However, Moana, I think, had some truly good times. I think Moana has herself a good emotional core. I think as a character, some of the music is a little bit more catchy, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't listen to any of it. That's the point I'm getting at. But I definitely think it had its times a lot more than something like Encanto did. Cinderella, meh. It's not for me. I'll say it had its meh. I don't ever care to watch this again. I would, only in the sense of it's been a long time since I've seen it, and like if I was going through like a Disney retrospective or something. But it's not for me. I mean, that's the best I can say. It's literally not a story for me. Dumbo, I think, had its good moments. I remember some of the more trippy horror, like isn't there like a pink elephant scene? It's been a long time since I've seen Dumbo, like VHS period. That's not the right Dumbo. I've never seen this one, nor do I really want to. Gave it a 6. That seems about right. There's like one scene in particular that like reaches out to me in my cortex of my brain juice, and I want to see if I'm thinking it is. Okay, this sequence has always stuck to me. It's cool. It's just trippy looking. So yeah, Dumbo has its moments. Loving Vincent, I really want to see, but I haven't yet. I think it looks super good. I've heard good things. Despicable Me 2, I think, is meh. Despicable Me 1, I hope we'll get to it. I think would probably go up here to Great Film, Beautiful Film. I really enjoyed it. And then I've not liked any of the other movies in the series. I think all of them's been really bad. Mulan is... Let me see what I rated it first. But I want to put it in God tier. But I also don't want to, you know what I mean? What did I rate it? Only a 7? No, it's higher than a 7. It's at least an 8. Come on, past self. Why are you being hard, Mulan? We rewatched Mulan right before we watched the live action remake. And I'm going to give it Great Film, Beautiful Film. I guess if I'm looking at like Big Hero 6, like I like Big Hero 6 better, but I think Mulan is super good. And then we watched that live action remake like right after watching the animated, and we're like, that was a bad decision because it made the live action look way worse. The Last Unicorn I've not seen, but I would kind of like to. Is this Despicable Me 1? Yeah. Despicable Me 1 gets Great Film, Beautiful Film. I genuinely enjoy Despicable Me 1. I think it's fun. Over the Hedge, I've not seen. I do own it on DVD. This haven't seen it list, we might, because it's a chunky list here. Despicable Me 3 is a nope. I think it's terrible. It's super unenjoyable. I've not seen Tinkerbell. I just don't think it's fun, like, at all. Despicable Me 2 had, like... I wouldn't say like I hated my experience with it. I kind of felt the same way as I did with these ones, where it's just like, I guess not necessarily Cinderella, but just like it was just meh. Where Despicable Me 3, I left, it was like, this is one of the worst movies I've seen of the year. So, if I were to like line it up here, down here for whatever reason, it'd be something like that. I'm not gonna worry too much about like ordering these around, but Anastasia, I think, is a truly good time. I think it's pretty fun. My wife loves this movie. I think it's pretty fun. Perfect Blue, I've not seen, which hurts me again. I want the steelbook to this really bad. I want to see that. I've seen Black Swan, if that counts. Isn't Black Swan kind of based off this? Yeah, there's a couple movies I know for a fact that's going to go in this. Haven't seen it line. That really bothers me. Megamind is a great, beautiful film that's on the verge of God tier. Megamind is such an underrated movie. It is so much fun. If you're a fan of like superhero movies or like comic book movies and stuff, and if you don't like Megamind, I don't understand. I think this movie is so much fun. I wish it had a sequel. I think it's super underrated. Sword of the Stone, one of the Disney movies I haven't seen that I really want to. Kiki's Delivery Service is a great film, beautiful film. It's not quite there for God tier for me, but I think it's super enjoyable. I'm hoping some of my like top tier favorite Studio Ghibli movies is on this list, but I don't know. We'll get to them, I guess. Beauty and the Beast has its moments. Has some decent songs, has some good animation. I like the concept of the story. It's just not my thing. Whisper in the Heart. Whisper of the Heart. I always say that title wrong. One of the more somber Studio Ghibli movies. For me, I think it's a good time, truly. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely not my least favorite. But it's a pretty somber movie. Kimba, I've not seen, or Kumba. Alpha and Omega, I've not seen. Mulan 2, I don't remember it enough to throw it in the don't remember pile. Leroy and Stitch had its moments. Pretty much anything Lilo and Stitch is going to be had its moments or higher. The My Little Pony movie, haven't seen it. Unfortunately, I'm not a brony. Mickey's Christmas, I wouldn't remember it enough. Chicken Run is a great film, beautiful film. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't own it on Blu-ray yet, but I vividly remember a lot of pieces of it. So throwing it up there, really enjoy it. It's fun. The Tom and Jerry movie is a big fucking nope. The live action movie. Why is this in here? This is an anime. I guess it's kind of animated. I grew up with Tom and Jerry. I always loved Tom and Jerry. I grew up with it. I always thought it was super fun. This movie, though, this fucking movie, oh, it just spat and punched and drugged Tom and Jerry through the mud. Chloe Grace Moretz is in this movie for whatever reason, and she's just here to collect a paycheck. My only like positive that I ever had to say with this is the people who animated Tom and Jerry did a good enough job animating it, and they used some of the old sound effects. That's it. Story is terrible. A lot of the gags aren't funny, and it's not as slapstick as the show is. It's just bad overall. Ooh, is that the Black Cauldron? What's this? Yeah. Fuck yeah. The Black Cauldron is a great film, beautiful film. The Black Cauldron is super fun. I had never seen it before, and we watched it one night on VHS on the big screen, on the theater screen on the projector, and I just had such a fun time with it. It's a super fun Disney fantasy movie. I think it's a little underrated. Madagascar, eh? Madagascar has its moments where it's kind of fun. Cinderella 2 I've not seen. I think Madagascar has its moments. Paranorman, I think, is a truly good time. It's not my favorite thing Lakia has done. I think it's how you pronounce it. But I think, I don't know how you pronounce the studio. It's not my favorite thing, but it's pretty good. It's a good time. The Lego Movie, I think, is a great, beautiful film. I think the first Lego Movie is really solid. Has a lot of good writing, a lot of good humor. The animation looks great. So, The Incredibles 2 is meh. It's about as meh as good. It's weird because I left the Incredibles 2. I left the theater and I was like, that was pretty good. And then as time has set, not only have I forgotten a lot of the movie, but like a lot of things just kind of soured on me. I was like, that really wasn't as epic as the first movie. That kind of actually like undermined some of the characters of the first movie. And it's just like, as it went on, I was like, why would you have this as a sequel right after The Incredibles 1 when all these voice actors are so much older? Why wouldn't you jump in time to where, Dash and Violet and Jack are kind of in the right? You know what I mean? It just felt like such a missed opportunity. The Little Mermaid, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I still remember pieces. Some I have had its moments. It could go up to a truly good time on a rewatch. Brother Bear. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do remember some chunks of it. I'm gonna throw it in a good time, truly. Home on the Range is meh. I don't think it's the worst Disney movie. Like, I remember pieces of this. I haven't seen it since theaters. I do have it on DVD because I found it out on clearance on DVD for like $1.50. So throw it in there. The Sea Beast had its moments. It's somewhere in between here. It's a movie that when we watched it, I had a good time with it, but I've never cared to like want to revisit it. I don't think I'll ever revisit it. And it's one that like hasn't really stuck with me very much. Like, yeah, if I like think about it, it's like, oh yeah, the Sea Beast. If I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I remember a lot of this movie. But at the same time, I'm like, I had to look at the poster to be like, oh yeah, this movie exists. Let's go with had its moments. Fucking Tarzan, great film, beautiful film. Tarzan is super fun. Really good time. Tarzan, Toy Story 3, and we did rewatch that recently. Toy Story 3, I think, is a truly good time. As someone who grew up with Toy Story, the way the Toy Story route goes in this, I think, was a nice conclusion to the trilogy and should have been the last film. So, it's a good time. Haven't seen this Land Before Time. Madagascar 2 is meh. Wait, no, is 2 the one with Moto Moto? Hold on. Madagascar 2, Escape from Africa. Yeah, is this the one with Moto Moto? Because if this is the one with Moto Moto, I'd throw it up and have its moments too. 'Cause I like them big. I like them chunky. That's like the thing is like, oh, it is Moto Moto because there's his butt cheeks. Is it will.i.am who voices him? What? Hold on now. Did we just learn something? Where you at? Moto Moto? Yeah, it is will.i.am. I like how this is like Escape from Africa. Say type in Maggie, you might get something different. Why can I not just spell? But isn't like the whole point of Madagascar is they get... Okay, they just go to Madagascar. Whatever. Anyway. Has its moments. I would say 2 is as good as 1 in that terms. Robin Hood, I've not seen in a bajillion years, so I'm not gonna throw it in there. The Book of Life, I think, has its moments, but it's not that great. I think what's the movie Disney did that's basically The Book of Life? Coco? I think Coco is a little bit better than it. Could have been better. It's alright. The Stitch movie is a truly good time, I think. Miri I've not seen. Paprika I've not seen. I really want to see Paprika though. I've not seen this. The Secrets of Nymph I've not... I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of pieces of it, but I've not rewatched it, so gotta go in here. Robots the movie is meh. Super disappointed in that one. That was one I always wanted to see as a kid, never got to. So I bought it on Blu-ray and I watched it. I don't have it on Blu-ray anymore because I traded it off when we moved. When I was When we moved, I did a downsize of the movie collection because we moved into an apartment that was kind of small and I was out of space. So I sold off my CD collection completely. And then my movie collection, I downsized and Robots got the cut. And yeah, I don't know. I'm disappointed in it. Tinkerbell I'm not seeing. A Goofy movie is a truly good time. I don't think a Goofy movie, either one of them, is a great, beautiful film, but I think they're both good times. Ride Your Wave, I've not seen. Oh, is this Mr. P? I forgot this movie existed. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Meh. It was meh. I totally forgot that existed, though. Wallace and Gromit and the Were-Rabbit. The truly good time. A lot of the Wallace and Gromit stuff's a lot of fun. Sinbad, I don't remember. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs is a truly good time. It's fun. It's pretty fun. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a great film, beautiful film. Super emotional, great development of Hiccup and the crew. A lot of fun. Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. God tier. Love Lilo and Stitch. I've seen it a million times. I could watch it a million times. I think it's fantastic. Super funny. Great characters. Oh, fuck you. You're gonna make me cry. Up is God tier. Up is my favorite Pixar movie. Might be a little bit generic to say, as Up is my favorite, but it is. It's my favorite Pixar movie. I just think it's great. The animation's great. I love the story, the adventure of the story. I think Carl is one of the best characters Pixar's written, personally. Russell's fun, but the whole movie is about Carl. And him and, is it Ellie? Is that her name? I've watched this recently. I'm pretty sure it's Ellie, right? I'm not gonna have her name, really? Anyway, can't find it. Anyway, the point is I think this is a fantastic movie, and it holds up to. I watched it recently, and it completely holds up. Wolfwalkers I'm not seen yet. Like I said, that Cartoon Saloon I'm going to sit down for eventually. Finding Nemo I think is a truly good time. Like, for me, like, Finding Nemo is fun, but it was never like this mind-blowing masterpiece. And I think Finding Dory is pretty meh. Not seen. Hotel Transylvania 1 I think has its moments. I'm not huge into the I don't know. I've always wanted more out of them, and I'm hoping the sequel's in here because my opinion on Hotel Transylvania 2 is significantly different than the rest of the trilogy. But you know what I mean? It has its moments. Madagascar 3 I think is probably a nope. I remember really disliking this, thinking it wasn't funny and it was just kind of obnoxious. Fantastic Mr. Fox is God tier. It's one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. In terms of claymation, it's just amazing. It's super fun. It's full of that Wes Anderson flair. Really enjoy it. Onward, controversial opinion, but great film, beautiful film. This was in I think it made the top 10 of my best of 2020 list. In terms of like Pixar, it has that Pixar formula. You know, in terms of its like story beats and stuff and emotional beats. But it was set in a universe that I just found to be super interesting. And I still now think about this movie every once in a while. I would love to rewatch it. I haven't bought it yet. I would love to rewatch it. But yeah, I think it would go in here. It's not quite God tier because it does have a lot of that formula and stuff. And to make my top 10 of 2020, there was a lot of really good movies. And looking back, I might have lowered this on the list a little bit, but it still would make the list. Because I think I put this above Baby Teeth, and looking back, I would have put Baby Teeth above this. I'm not exactly what slot this was in, but it could have went. Well, you know what? There's one way to look. I list everything like a fucking maniac. So Onward was number 7, and I have... Yeah, okay. So I think the only thing I would do is I'd swap these two around. Put Baby Teeth at number 8 and Onward at number 7. I mean, Onward at number 8, Baby Teeth at number 7. Gave Onward an 8.5. Pretty good. I'd probably lower my rating to an 8 maybe, but still, yeah. Still really enjoy it. I know, like I said, I'm on the minority. The Swan Princess I have on VHS. I would love to watch at some point. Shrek Forever After, I actually think is a truly good time. I actually really enjoyed Shrek Ever After. I know it's not as good as Shrek 1 or 2, but it is a massive leap up from Shrek the Third. And you know what? If you're going to take the Shrek characters and not really develop their story much like in Shrek 3, like Shrek 1 and 2 really develops the Shrek gang, right? Especially Shrek 1, but Shrek 2 furthers that with the whole family dynamic of her and what's her face? Her like Shrek and Fiona and her family and everything. Shrek the Third basically does nothing the entire movie. It's basically a Prince Charming movie. And then Shrek Forever After is fun because it's just a little throwaway movie. This is like one of those, this would have been like a really great straight to DVD sequel. Like as a theatrical sequel, you know, I don't know, but like the whole point of like Shrek being tired of his family, so he like runs into Rumpelstiltskin and is like, what would my life be without kids? And then him wanting to fight that back. I don't know, it's just a really fun spin-off. Like it doesn't really develop the characters much anymore, but it's a fun movie. Peter Pan, I've not seen him forever. Never seen this. The Jungle Book. Great film, beautiful film. One of my favorites of the original, like Disney or like Disney. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm in camera. Classics. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the few that had a good live action too. Which Cars are you? Cars 3. I actually think Cars 3 is a good time, truly. It was a nice return to just straight up racing, which is what the Cars movie should be. I feel like I might be in the minority of adults who enjoy Cars, but I grew up a racing fan, like a NASCAR fan. So to me, Cars 1 was a lot of fun. And then Cars 3 was just a nice return to that. Cars 3 I thought was fun. Cars 2 is one of the worst Pixar movies ever made. The Rescuers is a truly good time. It's a lot of fun. Coco. I'm somewhere in between here. I think I originally gave Coco a 6 out of 10. I'm going to throw it in here, but I think it's better than A Book of Life. I think it has its moments. It's not my favorite thing, but I think it has its moments, and I do think it's better than Book of Life. Ice Age 1, eh? Ice Age 1, eh? It's God tier. I think the Ice Age 1 movie is just fun. It's super fun. The plot's alright, but the interaction between the three characters is just super enjoyable. The animation looks terrible now, but it's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Ice Age, like I said, maybe I got some nostalgia goggles for it too. That might be a thing because I kind of grew up on this one. But I just remember being a kid just wanting to watch this all the time. Like we had it on VHS and I just wanted to watch this like a million times. I think I have it on VHS. Well, if I can't see it from here. But I think I have it on VHS again, but I do have it on Blu-ray. But yeah, and I've rewatched it, and to me, this one holds up. I think it's super good. Coraline is a great film, beautiful film, close to being God tier. I love about everything Coraline's doing. The story is awesome. The direction's great. Really enjoy it. Haven't seen that Land Before Time. Haven't seen Demon Slayer. I want to see the Demon Slayer movie, but I want to watch Demon Slayer first, and I haven't watched Demon Slayer first. Rango is a great film, beautiful film. I actually rewatched this not super long ago, and it's so good. The animation still looks amazing to this day. Like the animation is super good. And yeah, the characters are fun. The whole story is just super fun. It's kind of, I guess not until after recently watching Yoembo, but it's kind of like Yoembo. It's like a comedy version, like a Mel Brooks version of Yoembo. Yojimbo. I always say Yoembo, but it's Yojimbo. WALL-E is... It's somewhere between great film and God tier. I'm going to give it God tier. I'll give WALL-E God tier. I think WALL-E's in my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. I guess if I'm looking at top 5, like, here's 3. Toy Story 2 might not make the top 5 then, but I think WALL-E deserves to be up there. It's super good. My Hero Academia, I've not seen any of. Because A Bug's Life is God tier. Bug's Life is my probably second favorite Pixar movie. So yeah, Toy Story would be out of my top 5 then, as my favorite Pixar movies. Toy Story 2, because I like Toy Story 1 better. But I'm gonna leave WALL-E at God tier. Bug's Life is just... This is another movie I grew up on. I watched this a ton as a kid. I actually had this, it was Hopper. It was like a toy, it was like this big or something. So what it would do is, like, it would send somebody coming in the room and it'd be like, intruder alert, intruder. I had one of these for Hopper, and then I had one for Zurg. They were basically like the same thing, but one for Zurg, and it basically said the same shit. But yeah, I had this thing as a kid. But yeah, Bug's Life I've always loved, and I love the concept of Bug's Life. And Bug's Life to this day has a lot of great messages thrown throughout it too. So super recommend Bug's Life. It's one of my favorites from Pixar. The animation's a little weird looking nowadays, but what are you? Makwa? I don't know how to say that. I've never seen it. Never seen it. Want to though. Zootopia, I think, is a truly good time. It's a great concept. I would love to see it utilized more in a sequel. Soul, I think, had its moments. I'm gonna throw it and had its moments. It's one of those ones where I remember when I watched it, I really enjoyed it, but the longer I've sat on it, the less I've enjoyed it, if that makes sense. Like, you know, the longer I've sat on it, the more I forgot about it, and the less it's like stuck with me and had an impact. So I'm gonna throw it there. Little Pony, I haven't seen. That's Shrek 1, baby. And you know where Shrek 1's going. God tier. Shrek 1 is a fantastic movie. It really is. Loved it as a kid, love it as an adult. I've seen it probably a dozen times. Like no cap. Like I've seen this movie so many times. Super enjoyable. Love it. Mickey's Christmas. I'm not seen. Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. This is one of those movies where I don't think I'm gonna put it in God tier. I think it's fantastic though. I think it's really good. I'm excited for the sequel. It was such a good way to take Spider-Man. The animation was really great. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in great film, beautiful film. El Dorado, I don't remember a ton of, but I do remember moments of it. So I'm gonna say had its moments until I rewatch it. I don't want to put it in the don't remember because I do remember parts of it. So I'm gonna put it in had its moments. It could go up to a truly good time. I don't think it would go into the great film, beautiful film, from what I remember. However, Atlantis will. I think Atlantis is super fun. I had a great time with Atlantis. I don't like it as much as hopefully another movie on this list that we'll put on here that will go into the category 2, but I think Atlantis is really good. Corpse Bride, a truly good time. I had a lot of fun with Corpse Bride when we watched it. My wife thought I wouldn't enjoy this that much, but I did. I liked it. It was pretty fun. Sleeping Beauty, I don't remember enough of to say anything. I'm not seeing this. The Tom and Jerry movie. Have I seen this? Jerry the movie. Have I seen this? From 92. I haven't rated it, so I'm going to say no. If I have, I hadn't seen it. Is this Frozen 1 or 2? Frozen 1. Frozen was meh. I think that's like one of the most overhyped movies ever. The best thing about Frozen is the fact that a theater in Florida accidentally played the Red Band Nymphomaniac trailer before Frozen started. That's my favorite thing with Frozen. As a whole, though, I think the songs are okay, but it was like this big like thing of like Disney's saying you don't just marry the first guy you meet, that, you know, whatever. Like that was like a big thing with this one, and it kind of gets invalidated, the fact that, you know, I don't know, she necessarily falls in love with the dude, but like they kind of, I don't know, I don't remember now. I'm not gonna say anything. Did they get together in the sequel? I don't remember the sequel like at all. The sequel will probably go in here too if we get to it, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't like Frozen that much. And Olaf is one of the most annoying characters ever created. Rise of the Guardians is a truly good time. We actually rewatched that not too long ago. It's just a fun holiday movie. Pocahontas, I want to throw in a truly good time. It could go up to great film, beautiful film on a rewatch. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do remember a lot of it. Brave, great film, beautiful film. I think this is super underrated. I don't know why this gets so much shit for Pixar movies. We rewatched this not too long ago because I remember in theaters always really enjoying this, and then always hearing about people dogging on this movie, and I was like, maybe I was wrong. You know, it was like, maybe it was, you know, it just hit with me in the right mood. We rewatched it. No, this movie's fucking cool. Like, Brave is a really solid movie that I think gets shit on for like no reason. I mean, it's got a 7.1 on IMDb. I like it. No, I'm gonna raise it. A 7 is what I gave it originally, and I guess I must not have looked it up after the rewatch. But I think for one, the animation's still pretty solid. I like a lot of the character designs. Like, I don't know, I think they're just kind of funny. I think there's a lot of great humor in this movie. And then on top of that is there's a lot of great like family dynamics between, you know, what's her name? Meredith? I think it's Merida, right? Yeah, Merida. Between Merida and her mom. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think this is a really good movie that deserves some respect. Heckin' respectin'. I like Brave. What's this? Wish Dragon had its moments. It was alright. It's a little above meh. Had its moments. Raya is a truly good time. I enjoyed Raya. I definitely... It's not that I didn't like Awkwafina in the role. I didn't like Awkwafina's character, which is a little bit of a spoiler for what she is. I don't want to say it, but I don't like her character. I wish she was written to be different. But outside of that, I love the world that's set in. I love a lot of the action that's in the movie. So yeah, I like Raya or Raya. I think it's Raya though. Over the Moon. I know I've seen, but I don't remember it. Over the Moon. Okay, no, I remember now. It's the one where they Moon Goddess? Well, it's the one where the two boys, right? Or is that Abominable? I'm trying to remember if this is the one with like the giant blueberry patch. Or if I'm thinking wrong. I think is that Abominable? The blueberry patch? That can't be, right? It is. Abominable is the one with the blueberry patch. I'm getting my movies confused. This is very similar to Abominable now that I think about it. But I have seen this. And okay, because he wants her to play basketball with him, right? Or is that still Abominable? Wish Goddess. Yeah, like I remember this, but I'm still like, even though I remember this, I'm still like mixing a lot of it up with Abominable. Abominable. Yeah, okay, no, yeah. They kind of look the same too. There's a lot of resemblance between the two, right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Is there not, like, there's a lot of resemblance, right? I like Abominable. I'm gonna say meh, because I don't remember. Like, I guess I remember pieces, but not enough. I'm gonna throw it in meh. But I would say it's probably toward the Encanto side of meh, where it's in Incredibles 2, where it's the better of the meh. Inside Out, I think, is a truly good time. I think it's a pretty solid film. It's close to great film, beautiful film, but not quite there. I've seen it, I think, 3 times now, and each time I've watched it, I've liked it a little less. So, not seen that label for the time. Ants had its moments. It could go up to a truly good time, but it had its moments at least. Tigger movie I've never seen. What is this? Red Shoes and the Seven Dwarfs. Never heard of it. Kung Fu Panda 3 is a truly good time. It's my least favorite of the trilogy. The other 2 films are probably going to go up in here, in the God tier. Kung Fu Panda 3, just the direction they took the story. Like, I like the fact that his dad comes back, but like, there's a huge section where they're at like the panda village that I find to just be kind of boring. And it's like, yeah, it's got some good humor, but it's like, you know what I mean? I like the villain though a lot in 3. I think 3's villain is really good. Yeah, I like the ending a lot. Alright, I'll put you up in great film, beautiful film. Because I would probably still give it an 8 out of 10. Someone put you in there. Frozen 2 is just another pile of meh. Not quite Nope, I guess. I wouldn't be against, like, if I was somewhere and they're like, you want to watch Frozen? I'd be like, can we watch something else? Well, I really want to watch Frozen. I'd be like, alright, you know, whatever. Or like, if you're like, I mean, we don't have kids, but like, if for some reason we had a babysit and they wanted to watch Frozen, I wouldn't be opposed to it, I suppose. 101 Dalmatians. It's been forever since I've seen it, so I'm going to throw it in that don't remember pile. I don't have much of a want to rewatch it either. Kung Fu Panda 2. I'm going to put it in God tier. I love Kung Fu Panda 2. I love the villain. It's Gary Oldman's character, the Peacock, I think is maybe one of the best villains I've seen in a while. I think he's just an awesome villain, but I do like Kung Fu Panda 1 better, but as a villain, yeah, I love 2, and I love the whole Poe's backstory and stuff with it, of like, you know, the peacock wiped out the panda and stuff. I can't remember what his name is. It's like a foreign name, and that's why I can't remember it, because I'm a stupid American. Kung Fu Panda 2. Gary Oldman. Shin. So I was right in my head. I was thinking it was Shin, but I was like, I don't want to say that because that sounds racist, that I'm just assuming it's like some Asian name. Okay, so it was Shin. Anyway, Kung Fu Panda 2 is great. I've seen it multiple times. The Tale of Princess Kaguya. I don't know how to say that. Kaguya? Kaguya? I don't know. Haven't seen it. Want to, though. James and the Giant Peach is a truly good time. I have rewatched it. It's a good time, but there's definitely some downtime in it. Meh. The Box Trolls. Great film, beautiful film. It's one of my favorites from Lakia. I just found it to be super hilarious, but also like super cute. And I remember in the theater, there's a scene where a person got really offended in our theater, where the joke is one of the characters dresses up in drag to fool people, and when it gets revealed, spoiler alerts for Box Trolls, It's not a spoiler that they're dressed in drag, but it's a spoiler for this joke. So spoiler alert, skip like, if you're on YouTube, like 15 seconds. Or just mute the video. But there's a scene where it's revealed who it is under the drag, and there's a character that goes, "Oh my god, I regret so much." It cuts to that, and the woman behind me was so offended by that joke. She's like, "Are you serious?" She got so mad at that joke, and I thought it was hilarious. I think it's one of the best jokes in the film. But yeah, I like Box Trolls. I've seen it a couple times. Ratatouille is a great film, beautiful film. It'd just be like on the outlier of my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. It'd be somewhere around like Toy Story 2. It'd be like 6th or 7th. Like, I might put it above Toy Story 2. I might not. But I really like Ratatouille. I think it's really good. Aladdin is... It's a good time. Aladdin's a good time. The live action remake kind of sucks, but Aladdin's a good time. Ant Bully, I know I've seen chunks of, but I've not seen it all the way. The Peanuts movie, right? Yeah, the Peanuts movie I thought was meh. Like a 5 out of 10. I didn't find it that enjoyable. The animation's okay, but I just found it to be kind of boring. Is this Cars 2? The Amazing Cars 2 is a big whop of nope. I think Cars 2 is terrible. I think it's like one of the worst. I was just wondering if we could like make these smaller so this section's not as big. I think Cars 2 is probably the worst Pixar movie they made. I think it's super bad. It has like nothing to do with what made Cars 1 and 3 like good. Like in my opinion, I'd rather just watch, and that's the thing too, is like in Cars 3 they just ignore Cars 2. Like completely. They just like completely like ignore this movie, which I think is the right move to do. So yeah, Cars 1 and 3. I think to me I would just get rid of 2. Just Cars 1 and then Cars 3 is the sequel. What are you? I can't read your title. Words bubble up like soda pop? Never heard of you. I like the title though. Nightmare Before Christmas is God tier. It's fantastic. We watched it not too long ago. It holds up. Animation's great. The music is great. Almost like every song is a knee slapper. Not in the sense of comedy, but a booty shaker, as some would say. Yeah, love Nightmare Before Christmas. Love the world it's in. I think it's great. The Croods. The Croods 1 is a great film, beautiful film. I think The Croods 1 is super fun. It is super fun. Again, kind of tapping into that a little bit of rose-tinted glasses of being set in like prehistoric times. But I think it's super fun. I think it's super funny. I think there's a lot of really funny moments in there. Really enjoy it. The Croods 2 will be a little bit lower. Princess Mononoke is somewhere between great film, beautiful film, and God tier. What was the other Studio Ghibli movie I put into this category? Kiki's? Alright, so I'm going to put Princess Mononoke in great film, beautiful film because, I don't know, I like it better than Kiki's. This is a hard one. Fuck it, let's give it God tier. This movie's awesome. Let's give it God tier. Your Name is God tier. There is like a weird conundrum with Your Name. So some people think Your Name's a masterpiece. Some people think it's super overrated. I adored this movie. So I went into it. I have a buddy who's been telling me for a while that I should really check this out. I picked it up on Blu-ray because Weathering with You was coming out, and I wanted to see that movie, and just by the same team. And so I was like, you know what, I'll get Your Name and watch it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was completely blown away with Your Name. So the whole story of this movie is this boy and this girl start communicating through text, and what they do is they actually swap lives with each other through like these texts, so they leave notes for each other. And you know, it builds like a romance kind of thing, but the ending is just amazing. I really love the ending of the movie. I love the whole plot of how this movie goes about. I think the animation is absolutely stunning and beautiful. I'm showing you screenshots right now. I think it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful and stunning. The characters are super rich and developed. Yeah, I loved this movie. and it stuck with me. It's been a couple years since I've seen it, and I still think about this movie. So, God tier for your name. Watership Down is a great film, beautiful film. Not quite God tier, but I think it's fantastic. Cars 1. I think Cars 1 gets a truly good time. I don't think it's quite there to be a great film, but I think it's a fun film for what it is. I think Cars 1 and 3 are just really fun films for what they are. I don't think they're... You know, I'm like looking at this tier what I put in here. There's like a certain level of quality, in my opinion, that Cars 1 and 2 just never really meets. But I think Cars 2 and 3 are really fun. Oh, fuck you, Grave of Fireflies. Grave of Fireflies is probably God tier, but it will ruin your day. Grave of Fireflies will flat out just ruin your day. But it is... There's no doubt how impactful that film is when you watch it. An extremely goofy movie is a truly good time, just like a goofy movie. I honestly think they're on par with each other. Personally, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball is a truly good time too. I think it's fun. It's a goofy premise that I think is really just a good time. Turning Red is meh. I like the overall message of Turning Red, what it's like presenting. I think it takes that and turns it into a fun, digestible, animated film. But at the same time, like, I wasn't super impressed with it. And I found most of the characters to be pretty unlikable. What is this? Why can't I open... What happened? Why can't I, open image? Okay, what happened there where I couldn't, like, open image? Tinkerbell, Pirate Fairy, never seen it. Shark Tale. A great, beautiful film. Now, I'm gonna say this with a grain of salt. Shark Tale has a lot of bad. The animation is horrendous throughout all of it. The world is just stupid to set it up in this world, but I found it to be endlessly entertaining because of how stupid it was. I found a lot of the moments to be completely unironic. I mean, completely ironically hilarious, and I think some of it works. It's just a gangster movie. It's a straight up mafia movie, because you know, sleep with the fishes. I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's terrible. I think it's a really bad movie, but I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna throw it in there. And it's no denying its horrendous animation is part of its appeal. It is one of the ugliest movies I've ever seen animated. I'm throwing that out there. The character designs are some of the worst I've ever seen, but if I didn't have a fun time with it, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm gonna throw in the great film, beautiful film. I really enjoyed it. I think let me make sure this isn't the sequel, because I've never seen the sequel. Yeah, I think the music's awesome. I like the story to it a lot. I am deformed. You are deformed. Lady and the Tramp. It's a good time. My Little Pony I've not seen. Epic is a good time. Not quite there to be great and beautiful, but it is really fun. Dinosaur, great and beautiful, boy. Dinosaur's fun. I would love to rewatch it. I haven't rewatched it on Blu-ray. I did pick up the Blu-ray not too long ago, so I'm going to need to rewatch that, but it's a lot of fun. My Neighbor Totoro gets a God tier. It's classic. I mean, it's probably in my top 5 favorite Ghibli movies, but I would say probably in my top 5. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies, like, it's not overrated. I think it's correctly rated. It's a classic. It's really good. What is this? The Ugly Duckling and Me? Never heard of it. Spirit, I've never seen. I heard good things, but I also don't think it'd be for me. The Lion King? It's probably just a truly good time. I'm not the biggest fan of The Lion King, in all honesty. I really am not. Like, I think it's decent. It's well put together. The music's pretty good. The story overall is pretty decent. There's something about it, like when I watch it, I just don't get super into it. I think it's good overall, but like, yeah, it's not like my favorite thing. I still don't have it on Blu-ray, and in order for me to be like, I'm gonna get The Lion King on Blu-ray, I'd have to pretty much pick it up like for $5 or under, honestly. Arthur Christmas I've never seen. Where's just The Land Before Time? I've not seen that Grinch. Lion King 1.5. Same thing with Lion King 2. Meet the Robinsons I've not seen, but I want to. The Wild I've not seen. It looks like a knockoff Zootopia. Again, where is just The Land Before Time? Howl's Moving Castle is God tier. It's one of my favorites from Studio Ghibli. It's probably in my top 3. I really love Howl's Moving Castle. Secret of the Kells not seen yet, but I want to. Only Yesterday I've not seen yet, but I want to. Surf's Up is honestly a great film, beautiful film. When I watched this forever ago on TV, and then I bought it on Blu-ray, and we rewatched it, and I was honestly really impressed by it. I don't know what I gave it. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10. There's also a good chance that I didn't update my rating to it. Yeah, 7. The thing that always like kept me completely intrigued with it was its decision on how it was made. The film is like made like a documentary about this surfer, and like the camera actually follows the characters around like a documentary would. And I was super, and they play a lot of jokes with it, like the boom mic falling into camera and stuff like that. Like they have a lot of fun with it. It has a certain like film grain aspect to it too. I was really just super impressed with the animation. I think the story's fun. Like, don't get me wrong on that. I think the story's a good time, but like, yeah, the overall like arching like just presentation of Surf's Up is actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. A Silent Voice, the movie I've not seen, but I've heard good things. Ice Age, the pirate movie. So this would be, hold on, I'm trying to remember. Continental Drift. A truly good time, like all the other sequels. We haven't got the Ice Age 2 yet. That's interesting, have we? No, because there it is. The Meltdown, right? Is this the Meltdown? Yeah, the Meltdown's 2. Right? It's the Meltdown. It's Ice Age, and then the Meltdown, Ice Age. Yeah, then Dawn of Dinosaurs. Wow, they really took 4 years in between. It's crazy. Then Dawn of Dinosaurs, Continental Drift. This crappy movie, and then I've heard nothing but bad things about Buck Wild, so I haven't watched it yet. Rescuers Down Under is a truly good time. I actually like this better than the Rescuers 1, but I don't think I'd put it up in here. But I think Down Under is better. The villain of Down Under is fantastic. The Australian guy. Tokyo Godfathers is a great film, beautiful film. It's going to be a new Christmas rotation movie for us. Super good. Super good. If you've not seen Tokyo Godfathers, super recommend it. Boss Baby was meh. There is like one funny line, like one funny, I can't remember if it's a running gag or just a line, but there's like a line where there's a bunch of Elvis impersonators and they subtitle all of them, which I just find to be hilarious. Because they all do that. They always talk like that, and they just decide to subtitle them, and I think that's hilarious. Home, it was really bad. It was super annoying. The little purple dude in Home was super obnoxious the whole movie. Not a fan. Toy Story, God tier. Toy Story would be in my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. Actually, my top 5 are all in the God tier. Up, Bug's Life. If I would like order them, it'd be Up, Bug's Life, The Incredibles, Toy Story, and then WALL-E. Would probably be like my top 5 order. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Toy Story 1 is so good. And I do. I just like the story arc of Toy Story 1 better than Toy Story 2. That's the only reason. I think they're on par with each other in terms of like everything else. Like I think the animation's better in Toy Story 2 by a little bit. But yeah, Toy Story 1 is just timeless to me. What are you? The Princess and the Pilot. Never heard of you. Lilo and Stitch 2, A Stitch Has a Glitch is a truly good time. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, good with that. Ice Age 2, The Meltdown is a truly good time. a lot of fun. I don't think any of them get near the tier of Ice Age 1. I think Ice Age 1 is significantly better than the rest of the Ice Age movies. But I think those other 3 sequels are all kind of on par with each other on that like 6 to 7-ish range. Dawn of the Dinosaur might be my second favorite. I remember really enjoying that. Although Ice Age 4 Continental Drift has one of my favorite Ice Age gags, which is when Sid is eating berries and Diego's like, Sid, don't eat that. And Sid's like, Diego, I think I know my berries. And he bites and he goes, and his one eye just goes upside down. Like it wasn't like it just like goes upside down. And it's like, to me, that was one of my favorite gags of Ice Age. It was just so funny. Strange Magic I've not seen, but I want to. It looks cool. Minions is a bunch of nope. I found it to be super obnoxious. It was super annoying. The Minion characters aren't what made Despicable Me 1 good. They're just banter. And then to have a whole movie of that is just super obnoxious. No Me and Julie I've not seen. Open Season we watched not too long ago. It's a truly good time. It has its moments. I'm like, maybe it just has its moments. Yeah, has its moments. I don't think I'm quite at a truly good time with it. It's fun. But it has its moments. Like, it's definitely not better than Coco or Soul or really a lot of these in this category. So that's where it needs to go. Toy Story 4 has its moments. I'm more of the meh. I don't really think it has its moments. I think Toy Story 4 is kind of just meh. I've seen it. I've seen Bambi 2. Wait, hold on. I got moved around. Winnie the Pooh, I wouldn't be able to remember. American Tail, I know I've seen, but it's been forever. A lot of these. Hey, Land Before Time 1. Great film, beautiful film. Still remember a lot of it to this day. I would like to get the Land Before Time movies on Blu-ray. I own a ton of them on VHS. I would like to. I only gave it a 7. That's probably because I rated this in college and I was just trying to be a hard ass. Yeah, like I'm like looking at it. I'm like, come on, show me more stills. I don't care about the movie covers. Yeah, I still like vividly remember a lot of this off the top of my head. I would like to rewatch it. It'll probably go up. I'll probably give it an 8. But yeah, great film, beautiful film. My Neighbors, the Yamadas. I've not seen yet. I want to though. Bambi. It's a good time. It's not like my favorite thing, but it's a good time. Emperor's New Groove. Not quite God tier. Great film, beautiful film. Not quite God tier. Really good though. A lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Kung Fu Panda is God tier. Kung Fu Panda 1 is one of my all-time favorites. It would actually go up here next to Fox and the Hound. It's one of my all-time favorite animated movies. It is my #1 go-to feel-good movie. If I'm like feeling like super down or in a funk or something like that, Kung Fu Panda can pull me out of it. It's so much fun. I love the story of, like Po being the chosen one kind of thing. He's like this goofball, but he's chosen and he's got to fight these trials and tribulations from others who thinks he's, worthless basically. And he's got the mist of this like crazy villain coming after him. That's an ex-student that should have been him. And it's great. I love everything about it. The animation still looks good to this day. The fight scenes are super fun. Jack Black owns this role. Voice acting across the board's good. It's super funny. And it has some really great slapstick that I'm a huge fan of. And I love a lot of the sound design too, especially to make it like his belly sound like a bass drum. Awesome. Super fun. Love that movie. Love it. What are you? Quest for Camelot. Never heard of you? I bet you would be fun though. How to Train Your Dragon. This is 3, right? The Hidden World, yeah. It has its moments. I want to rewatch this. I've not seen it since theaters. Maybe I was in a bad mood, but I was super disappointed in How to Train Your Dragon 3. I would like to rewatch it, like I said, but I was super disappointed in it. I didn't think it lived up anywhere near 1 and 2, but I would like to rewatch it. I've not seen this, but I want to. The Tale of Desperaux. I don't know how you say that. It looks cute though. How to Train Your Dragon 1, beautiful film, great film. It's on par with the sequel. I think 1 and 2 are both like 8.5 out of 10s. 8.5, give or take. I think How to Train Your Dragon 1 is super fun, but I don't know. They're both really good. I have all 3 of them, so at some point I need to watch How to Train Your Dragon 3 again. My wife really liked it. She said this is as good as 1 and 2. I just remember being really disappointed in it, so I'd have to rewatch it to get my opinion more on it. Another movie I'd like to watch, Tangled. I've not seen yet. Pinocchio has its moments. It's not like my favorite thing. Ponyo. I'm gonna give it God tier. I love Ponyo. I think it's one of the more underrated in the Studio Ghibli line, honestly. Like, I think Ponyo is awesome. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I like it more than Kiki's. Sorry, I know a lot of people like it. I honestly like it more than Princess Mononoke. Like, it's probably my 2 favorites I haven't seen yet, and I don't know if they're going to be in here. Hopefully they're in here. Don't know if they are. If they're not, I'll tell you what my 2 favorite Studio Ghibli movies are. But Ponyo's in my top 5. I really like Ponyo a lot. Don't know if I like it more than Howl's Moving Castle. These 2 would be in a boxing match for probably 3 and 4. I would say, of my favorites that I've seen. I've not seen all Studio Ghibli movies. I've seen majority of them, but not all of them. Princess and the Frog is a great film, beautiful film, super underrated Disney movie. I wish it did better in theaters. The soundtrack's awesome. I love the setting it's in. I love the story to it. Really enjoy Princess and the Frog. Super surprised by it because I went into it with no expectations because I had never seen it. I've not seen Planes. I think Planes look stupid. I probably will never watch it. Bolt, I think, is a truly good time. Not quite great film, beautiful film. It's a lot of fun though. Happy Feet, I think, had its moments. It's not my favorite thing. I watched it. I always wanted to see it because it's directed by George Miller, who did the Mad Max movies. And YMS had a video on this about the religious symbolisms and stuff of Happy Feet. So I always wanted to watch it, and I watched it, and it's all right. Like, it has its moments. It's not my favorite thing. I don't know if I'd ever care really to rewatch it. Monster House is a truly good time. I want to buy this and rewatch it. I haven't seen it, I think, since... I want to say I've seen it since theaters because I remember renting it. What year did it come out? It was like a 2009 movie, right? Monster House. 2006. I definitely would have rented it if it's that old, but yeah, 6 out of 10. No, I'm pretty sure I rented this. I don't think I own it though. I'll have to get it. Polar Express has its moments. It's not a bad Christmas movie. It's not my favorite thing. The animation's weird nowadays. Alice in Wonderland, another one, had its moments. Not my favorite thing. I like the premise of Alice in Wonderland a lot, but I've yet to see it in a way that I really like it. You know, I hated the Tim Burton live action version. I know I'm probably in a minority of saying that. I never saw the sequel, but I really hated the live action remake. But I don't know. I like the story to Alice in Wonderland a lot. I just haven't seen it presented in film in a way that I like it yet. Let Takashi Miike direct it and we'll come back to it. Rise of the Guardians, The Legend of the Ga'Hoole is a movie I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to read these books and I've always wanted to see this. I just haven't yet. Super want to though. Big on my want to see it eventually. I need to buy it. I don't believe I own this. I would have to look. I might own it. I'm at that point in my life where I don't know what I own and don't own yet. But Treasure Planet, great film, beautiful film. Close to being God tier, but Ben is such a bad character that it knocks it down from being God tier. But I would say it's one of the highest in this category. I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think the animation is absolutely stunning. The story is super fun. I love taking the treasure island and making it intergalactic with aliens and stuff. I just wish they would have toned Rob down. I think it's Rob, right? I wish they would have toned Ben down because Ben is honestly one of the worst characters in my opinion. It's out there with Jar Jar Binks bad. Martin Short does such a terrible job at it. Yeah, Ben, B-E-N. Martin Short does such a terrible job. He's so irritating and grating, and he's literally there. Like, that character has always been a plot device in the Treasure Island story, but like, it's so much more apparent in the movie, and they spend such a obnoxious amount of time with him for a section. Yeah, he's only in a small amount of the film, but when he is in that small amount of the film, he gets majority of the screen time for that short period, and he is super annoying. Doesn't ruin the movie, but definitely knocks it down a bit. Wreck-It Ralph, I think, is a truly good time. Not quite in the great film, beautiful film, but I do really like Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's a lot of fun. What's this? Saying I've never watched, but I've heard terrible things. Is this Puss in Boots 1 or Last? I've not seen Last Wish yet, but I've heard great things about it. I do want to see this. And Puss in Boots 1, I put in meh. I think Puss in Boots 1 is not very good, but I've heard literally nothing but good things about this, so I want to see it. Intergalactic is another film that's on my watch list that I just haven't got to yet. It's on my watch list, though, for my best of year list. And not in the sense that I think it's going to be a best of year list, but like... So when I'm going through the years of like the movies for the best of the year movies, I make like a watch list of like, all right, this is a 2022 movie that I really want to see, that I want to get to before I like narrow down what my favorite films of the year are, and that's on that list. I just haven't got to it yet. I've never heard of this. Wendell and Wild was meh. Not quite a nope, but not very good either. I got some shit. It's weird on my comments for that review. Like, I have some people who are like, totally agree, and I've had some people who are like, completely wrong. You're completely wrong on Wendell and Wild. Belle, I think, is pretty good. I think it's got a good time. I love the score to it. I love the animation to it. It's basically Beauty and the Beast, told a little bit differently. But yeah, the animation is, the amount of like particle effects and detail that's in the animation is just stunning. And then, like I said, I like the soundtrack a lot too. It's like a 7 out of 10. Claws is a truly good time. Close to being a great film, beautiful film, but not quite there. It's really good. It's a really solid Christmas movie. My Father's Dragon I've not seen yet, but it's on my watch list. The Bad Guys is a truly good time as well. Not quite there. I like the animation style. Turn me into a furry because, and I'll tell you why. That's why. Adorable. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's fun. Drifting Home, also on my watch list. Haven't seen it yet. What are you? The Girl from the Other Side? What are you? You look interesting. The Girl from the Other Side. It's a new movie. Add to watch list. Well, I'm glad I did this list now because this looks cool as shit. Am I getting any subtitles? I'm not gonna watch the full trailer. I like the animation style a lot. Okay. Yeah, not heard of this before. Looks really cool. Luck looks really bad, so I've not seen it. Pinocchio. Oh, geez, Pinocchio. A truly good time. It's close to being a great film, beautiful film. Maybe on a second watch it will be. It's beautiful in its animation. But there's just something about Pinocchio's story that I'm just not like super duper crazy on. I'm not seeing that Minions movie, The Rise of Gru. I'm never going to. Ichabod and Mr. Todd, right? Mr. Toad. I've not seen since I was a kid, so I need to rewatch it. The Great Mouse Detective, same situation. Michael Mitchell and the Aliens and the Machines, I mean, is a good time. It's a good time, truly. I had a really fun time with it. I like the animation style a lot. The Iron Giant is a great film. Beautiful film. Super enjoy The Iron Giant. It's a lot of fun. We're Back. I've never seen. I doubt I've seen this. The Princess and the Pea. Yeah, I've not seen it. Fern Gully. We don't get Fern Gully too? Fern Gully is a good time. Fern Gully is a lot of fun. Jungle Book 2, if I've seen it, I don't remember it. Same with Little Mermaid and Brother Bear 2. So that's our list. A good chunk of stuff I haven't seen. A good chunk of stuff I have no interest in seeing. But there is stuff in here I want to see, or I've not seen it in so long that I don't remember it. Not a lot of nopes. A good amount of great films. And honestly, more God tier movies than I thought there would be in this list. But yeah, that's been my animated tier list. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe down below, turning on the bell notification to let you know anytime I upload videos. If you want to catch me do anything live, I'm editing a little bit of my streaming process, playing video games, anything like that. There's a link to my Twitch. If you follow me over there and turn on notifications, you'll be notified anytime I go live, because I do not have a streaming schedule, so that would be a little nifty if you want to catch me live. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day. These tier funds are lists. You know what I mean? These tier funds are lists. These tier lists are fun, and I'm going to do some more of them, so hope you enjoy them. Peace.